Alright, people, let's look at the exponential trigonometric function. Right? We're talking about that for quite a while now. So let's go. Question says, if y is equals to exponential of sine of 4x plus 6, what's the value of the first and second derivative? It's that simple. Let's get for the first derivative, which is dy over dx. With this, how do we solve for this? Dy over dx is using, first of all, we know it's function of function, right? Dy over du times du over dx. Talked about this many times, so having this in mind, right? Step one is to let u be equal to what? Sine 4x plus 6, right? But then we have a problem now. How is that a problem? We're going to replace this value now with another value. So with this, we can say let v be equals to 4x plus 6. Are you seeing? So we have u replacing everything here, and then v replacing this one. So we differentiate with respect to x. Let's differentiate v with respect to x first. So we can say dv over dx becomes this v now. Everything here is replacing this. So v with respect to x gives us what? Gives us 4. Right? Let's keep this one down. If we differentiate that, we have 4. So if we want to rewrite u, now how do we write u? It's going to be u is equals to what? Sine v, because we have replaced v with this, right? So we differentiate u with respect to v. We have du. Let's just come here and use du over dv. That's with this. It's going to give us cos v. Of course, I taught you how the trigonometric function works, right? So what do we do with this? We're going to have our du dx as what? From our du dx, our du over dx as what? Du over dv times dv dx. Right? Yes. So what's du over dv? Look at now our du dv. Yes, this is where it is. Du dv as cos v. Here, that's cos v times what? Our dv dx. Look at dv dx as 4. That's 4. So if we arrange, we are going to have what? We're going to have 4 cos v. Of course, we know what v is. V is simply 4x plus 6. So by replacing that, our du, you should know now that our du what? Du dx is simply 4 cos, what's the value for v? 4x plus 6. It's quite simple. Right, now we have the value for du dx, which is this. So how do we get dy du? That's what we're looking for now, the value for dy du. Of course, we know that y, the value of y is equal to what? E raised to the power of what? U. Because we have replaced everything here with the value of u. We said that before now, countless times. Yes, the value of that. Because originally y was sine 4x plus 6. But then we replace this with what? With u. U is equal to sine 4. So it's only fair that we replace this with the u we have here. That's u. So that we can differentiate y with respect to u. Therefore, our dy over du gives us what? Gives us the same thing, because if we differentiate an exponential function, we're also going to get an exponential function, right? So it's going to give us e raised to power u, the same thing, right? So by combining the equation, we now have the value for dy du now, right? We have the value for dy du, because from this process we got the value for du dx, which is this, right? And I showed you the step. Right, equation function of function. That's why it's called function of function of function of function, stuff like that. So from here, our dy over dx becomes dy over du times du over dx. Right? So our dy over dx gives us what? What's dy dx? So we're starting with dy du, which is this. That should be what? E raised to the power of u times u dx, which is this 4 cos 4x plus 6. That's 4 cos 4x plus 6. Right? So let's rearrange. By arranging, our dy over dx gives us what? 4 cos 4x plus 6 e raised to the power of u, and u there is sine what? 4x plus 6. That's the value for everything we have. Valid answer. For first derivative, right? Look at how it works. First of all, replace this with u naturally. That's what we normally do naturally. Replacing this with u, and then replacing this value with v, differentiate with respect to v, right? And replace v here for u, and differentiate u with v, and then form a function of function for du over dv. That's how we got this here, right? Then our final answer gave us this. Then from there we got for the y du. Just look at it. I've been explaining all of this. I'm surely going to be leaving the links of all of this video on the description box, so that as you go through them, you understand how we are going through them step by step. In the next video, we're going to be doing the second derivative of this function, right? Take the second derivative, whereby we'll replace this with u and this with v and form a product rule with it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you.